Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Hydro, and today I'm going to be doing the review of the Mig Cigs e-cig. I'm going to try to get through this as quick as possible because this is my 5th time trying to record this video, and every single time something happened. Whether it went too long, I sounded too harsh in my review, or whatever the case may be, something happened. So I'm going to try to get through this as quick as possible and give you all of my opinions such as they are. This right here is the Mig Cig. Very long, 280 mAh battery that does have a manual switch. This is a cartridge on it, and this is vanilla. Let me paint a picture for you. Order this, get it about 5 days later. This is going into the weekend. Grabbed it out of the mailbox, pulled out a battery and a couple cartomizers, and was on my way to the beach to go meet up with one of my friends for what was going to be a wonderful, wonderful day. Started vaping it on the way there and using this vanilla, and was instantly very dissatisfied with everything about it. Let me go ahead and demonstrate the vapor production. It isn't terrible, and it's going to come across on camera as being a lot more than it is. So just know that going into it, and I will explain everything else after that. Alright, so vapor production is okay. Halfway decent. As you can see, I went right to the cutoff. The reason why I went all the way to the cutoff is because there's little to no throat hit. And the throat hit you can't even feel until right at the end of the cutoff. Flavor is almost non-existent. This is a newish cartridge. I think I've maybe vaped 30 to 40 puffs, maybe. Most cartomizers say that you can get about 200 puffs out of it. This isn't always the case either, as I will show you with the next cartridge. So in this case, it's going south really, really quickly. So that was my initial reaction, is that there's no throat hit, no flavor. This is 18 milligram nicotine, so there should be a pretty decent throat hit actually. Expected the flavor to maybe not be so much there, since I'm figuring this is a mostly PG blend, but it's just not there at all. And this is the second cartomizer out of the pack. Maybe I got a bad pack. But I popped in the green apple, which was my second choice. Well, actually my first choice. By the way, they come in boxes like these. This is what it looks like. So, popped on the green apple thinking, well, maybe the green apple is going to be better. It's one of 3 50-50 blends, so 50 PG, 50 VG. My expectations here was even more vapor, maybe a little bit less of a throat hit even, but the flavor is going to be halfway decent. So, let's check it out. Definitely more vapor. More of a throat hit. As you can see, I didn't quite make it to the cutoff. Luckily, this is a very long cutoff, and the flavor is a little bit more pronounced. Now, this, also a newish cartridge, second cartridge out of the pack. The first one didn't last me half a day, which is really, really bad for a cartridge like this. As I said before, they usually say they last about 200 puffs. And most places will say that they last a pack of cigarettes. Now, I can't really say for sure if Mig Cigs actually says that on their website, but generally speaking, that's usually what they say. The fact that it lasted me half the day was just ridiculous. So it left me with no green apple, which is actually working really well, and my other choice was a vanilla cartridge that had no flavor, no throat hit, but produced a little bit of vapor. So I was stuck with half the day with absolutely nothing. So that'll teach me to not have a second setup, entire setup in my car with me at all times. That was my initial impressions of this product, is that when the cartomizers do work, they only last you half the day. And when I say half the day, I mean I'm not a chain vapor. So I was maybe at 80 puffs, something like that, before the thing completely just went out. Really, really disappointing at that point. So, wanting to give Mig Cigs a really, just all the chances in the world for them to actually come through for me, since all the reviews were just amazing, I went back on their website and I bought a couple more things. I bought the grape flavored cartridges, also at 18 milligram. This is also a 50-50 blend. This is what it looks like. And thought I would give that a whirl. And so far it's working pretty good. This is the first one out of the pack, and right out of the box it works really well. light on the throat hit, a little light on the flavor, less pronounced than the green apple, but produces plenty of vapor. Now this one I've been vaping on for a little bit. It's the first one out of the pack. So after 3 flavors, 3 different packages of cartridges, my final analysis of this product is that the cartomizers are not the way to go for this product. The cartomizers, if you can kind of see this here, it's got the Mig Cigs logo on it, but they look almost exactly like the V2 cartridges, which is weird because the V2 cartridges actually work really well. I don't really dig the flavors per se on the V2s, but they do work, and they do last for quite a while. So I was surprised that these just aren't lasting at all. I would liken it to getting the fruit stripe gum. If any of you guys remember that, in TV and movies they've made jokes about this. The fruit stripe gum is one of the gums that you start chewing and it's great for the first maybe minute, and then after that there's just absolutely no flavor. That's how I would describe these cartridges as. Every single one of them that I've had, just either the flavor and the throat hit went away almost immediately, or it just completely went dead and that was it. There was nothing left in it. Now they are refillable, so I may refill them with some of my e-juices and see if that's the problem. Maybe it's the e-juice that they use. But I also bought one more thing, and that is this right here. The Clear Fusion Max, their little mini tank system. This is what I think this product was actually made for. As you can see though, one thing I don't like about it is that it doesn't sit flush with the battery. Not a big deal, but I will say that it's made from really good quality metal. It is practically leak proof, so that's really a good thing. It's relatively easy to fill. It's going to be a lot easier if you have a needle nose bottle, but all in all, really good quality. You get a 3-pack for $15. The 5-pack cartridges are $9.95, and the starter kit that I got was $39.95. So that comes with a 5-pack of cartridges, 2 batteries, and a USB charger. That's it. So let's try this one out and see what the difference is. Outstanding vapor, really good throat hit, and you can really taste the flavors. Now I am using Bubba's Bounty in this, so that's one of my favorites. But it's not too thick to actually work really well in a tank like this, which is a good thing because I definitely prefer the thicker e-liquids that are mostly a VG blend. They tend to be thicker, produce better vapor. Flavor isn't always the greatest, but in this case I can really taste it, which is really good for me. But it makes it a little heavy towards the end. This is definitely a weighty product, and it makes it a lot longer. So this is really the only reason I can see to actually use this product. Now the battery is a regulated 4.2 volts. So that means it's going to be 4.2 volts until the whole battery is just completely dead. So there's not going to be any drop off. Though I don't really feel like the extra volts are doing anything as compared to some of the other devices, which are 3.7 volts, I believe, maybe a little bit less than that. Well, they're going to start off 3.7 and then quickly diminish, but I don't really feel like there's a whole lot of extra power there, because I feel like the cartomizers should be working extremely well with the 4.2 volt battery, which is why I got the cartomizers. The thing is, I don't necessarily want a device that's this big if I'm getting a cig-alike. What I want is something that not necessarily resembles a cigarette, not necessarily the same size as a cigarette, but something that is roughly the same size. Something that is familiar. Something a little bit more like this. I could handle it being a little bit shorter, and they may actually sell shorter ones, but really, this isn't too bad with the cartridge on it. It's just a bummer that the cartridges just don't work for me. And maybe they work for other people, but as you can see, I got 3 different flavors, and none of them are performing very well at all. Now, you can use other cartridges on there, so you can buy V2, you can buy Halo, you can buy probably any number of them, and they'll work on here just fine. But I just think that the buy-in for something like this, if you were to go, and you definitely want 2 of these batteries, and I'll get into my second battery and why I keep showing you only 1 battery, You have 2 batteries fully charged up, that's probably going to last you all day. So you're going to have to go with at least the economy kit, if not higher than that. So $40 is going to be your minimum buy-in for that, plus another $15 for the tanks, if you want the best experience you can possibly have with this company. Now we're looking at 60 bucks, and in my opinion there are better options out there for $60. Those options unfortunately are going to mean that you're going to have, sorry, there's a motorcycle going by outside, you could probably hear that, I apologize for that. For that much money, actually for far less money, you could get a good Ego style starter kit where the battery is going to last you longer than both of these combined, and you're probably going to have a better tank that comes along with it. So, what is the advantage of buying something like this? The size. That's it. I don't feel like the power is really enough to make it worth it. And as far as the batteries go, the second battery that I had died on me while I was using it, just out of the blue. It just does not work anymore, and I've had it for less than a week. Tried to call Mig Cigs today to see what I could do about getting a replacement, and lo and behold, they are closed this week. I don't hold that against them because I know that they're trying to expand their business, and that kind of thing takes time, and they're losing money having to close down. It's just really bad timing on my part, I suppose. So it's rather unfortunate that I couldn't even get a hold of somebody to find out what I can do about the fact that one of my batteries is just completely dead and utterly useless. Therefore, it's only leaving me with 1 battery left. So, overall, I'm not sure that I would recommend this company. At least not to somebody who necessarily is starting out vaping. Because I feel like if you're just starting to vape, you're going to want to start with cartridges. Sure, you could go with the mini tank, and it is a better experience, but to go from a cigarette to something this big with the tank on it is kind of a big leap. And for me, that's where the cig-likes kind of have their place in vaping, is that bridge from smoker to vapor. I think that it helps out a lot, and I still use cartridges every now and again, which is why I wanted these to be really good. I bought my favorite flavors, and I thought they were going to be amazing because this company, I've heard nothing but good things about this company. Everybody's singing their praises, yet that's not what happened. If it was one isolated incident with just getting 1 bad pack of cartridges, okay. If it was just one of the batteries went dead, sure, that happens. They're coming off an assembly line or something, I'm guessing, and every once in a while there's going to be a bad one that comes in. That would be totally okay if the cartridges worked amazingly and I was able to just vape all of those on 1 battery or even just use them on other batteries that I have, which I can do. But the fact that all of them happen just makes me wonder and question how good this company really is. Now, I have every confidence that when I do call them and tell them about my problem with the battery, they will give me a bunch of options that I can do to actually get another battery. Maybe they'll just go ahead and send one right out. Maybe they'll want me to send me mine back, and they'll either fix it and send it back or just ship me a new one. I'm not sure, but I'm sure that they're gonna take care of the situation. But all of these problems can't really be ignored. Maybe other people had much better experiences, but for me, paying all of this money for all of these products, I expect a lot more than that. I really do. I mean, the Joytech Ecom that I did, still working fantastically. I love that device, and I paid around this little bit more, I think $5 more for that than I did for all of this. And it works so much better. The only problem with that is I don't want to take it everywhere I go. I want something like this, something nice and small that I can put in my pocket and just take along with me. So I know this kind of turned into a rant video, but I have to be honest about what I've experienced with this particular company. And as I said, if it was one isolated incident with one thing, I could let that go because things happen. But when 3 packs of cartomizers aren't working well at all, and 1 battery goes completely dead, I have to really wonder. What kind of quality control do they have over there? Did they used to be an amazing company 6 to 8 months ago, and they've just slipped since then? It happens. It happens to a lot of companies. They start off amazing. They're that young, hungry company, and then after a while they've made so much money that they get a little bit lazy about what they're doing. I'm not trying to call Mig Cigs out on anything, but what I am saying is that so far this has been a really, really disappointing experience, and I don't agree with any of the reviews that I've seen talking about them being the god e-cig and the e-cig of 2014, because I just simply don't think they are. I think that there are, at this point, much better companies doing just as good products, or making products as good quality, if not far better, than Mig Cigs is. That's not to say that a year from now they won't be amazing, but as of right now, the 4.2 volts, I don't see a difference. The battery life, yeah, it's a little bit better, but it's also a longer battery, so you would expect that. But the cartridges aren't working. The tanks work just fine. They're nice, but you can use them on just about any other products. So why not just use a tried and true, proven V2 battery and use the tanks on that? Because yeah, these tanks are probably better than the ones that V2 carries or the ones that Halo carries. But that's not enough, I don't think, to really make this the greatest e-cig on the market today. So anyway, those are my opinions. Hopefully you guys have better experiences. If you guys have Mig Cigs and you love them, let me know why. If you have Mig Cigs and you hate them, let me know why. I'm right in the middle. I don't hate them, but I definitely don't love them either. Anyway, thank you for watching, and have a good night.